Drawing arthropods in Minecraft. First off, we have the bee. And oh my goodness, I really loved working on this. It's what inspired this idea. I think I saw somewhere that bees can get really sleepy when they pollinate too much. And I thought it'd be so cute to draw the Minecraft bee falling asleep on the poppy from like a long day's work. And I think because of how small this bee is compared to how big they are usually, I believe this is a baby bee on top of things. Oh my gosh, and are you guys also excited about the new Minecraft mob textures? Oh my goodness, I can't wait to see what they'll do for the baby bee. Let me also talk more about the art process here. I kind of forgot that I'm not just drawing the casual bee. This is meant to still be Minecrafty, just at least a little bit other than the color palette. So I cubed up the bee a little bit. Here I was like figuring out if it was worth making a new layer for the wings, which it was. And I originally envisioned a sunflower for the bee to be on, but I thought yellow against yellow may not be too ideal, so I opt for a poppy instead. You could also see this as a rose, but considering there is no thorns, I'm gonna go with poppy. I'm saying, oh yeah, I wonder what flower this is, as if I didn't draw it. But yeah, I made sure to include the pollen, and I thought it would be so cool to have an orange glaze over everything to give it that extra umph of warmth. And I'm really happy with the end result here, especially once I've added the shadow in. Next we have the silverfish, and oh my goodness, getting the pose on this initially was such a nightmare. But I got there in the end, and I was kind of like, I never really considered if silverfish have any like little legs underneath. Even so, I guess I didn't actually have to draw the little legs underneath if I was going for this angle. And I know silverfish could be super annoying, and like I definitely always panic when I see them, but I've got to admit I've always loved like their color palette. Like I love the mixture of like the red and blue grays. It kind of reminds me of like when you're painting snow. All the sorts of like you're basically painting just like white, but it's not just white. It's like you can go from pinks, orange, blues, purples. It's pretty crazy. So even though the silverfish is gray, like there's all sorts of like greens, purples, and pinks in here, which was so cool. I am really proud of how surprisingly likable this one looks. It kind of looks a little bit too similar to the reference picture. I feel like it's different enough though, but I wish I like pushed myself more. I did look up silverfish fun facts before speed painting, but I didn't really find anything that I could have put into the illustration. Like I know they're like super fast and whatnot, but I guess I wasn't really up for in this illustration to have the silverfish biting Steve's ankles, although in hindsight that could have been pretty fun. But yeah, I believe I kind of combined the end of the tail with like real life silverfish, kind of have like a shrimp tail at the end. Maybe I completely imagined that. If so, This is just a Sashinka original. Ignore my previous statement. But yeah, overall, I'm super, super happy with how this little guy turned out, but I do not wish to see him again. Okay, this one is a little weird because, right, I kind of combined the original idea of the firefly with the firefly bush. And right, fireflies are like all together in just a bush and they kind of just emit these particles. But I thought, maybe I could like do more of an close up of like the fireflies on the bush. And I had a bit of trouble with that, but I think it paid off pretty well. I honestly think my favorite part about this illustration may be the firefly bush itself. I really like once I shaped out all of the leaves, how it turned out. And the fireflies themselves, it took a little bit of figuring out what I like. They kind of looked like these like really weird looking eyeballs. And then I started to see sheep, but yeah, no, the eyeball imagery was not something I was a big fan of. But eventually, once I started to cube the rest of the circles, I ended up liking it way more. And I think also adding in like those like really tiny, I suppose, baby fireflies, I think it really tied the whole piece together. Whoa. If it isn't the one, the only Ender Mite. It was a little hard. I think this one was the hardest one for me to do. I was trying to like make this guy not look like I just genuinely just basically did the reference photo. I also never actually took the time to realize the fact that the Ender Mite has just like one huge eye, I believe. I think some people might think it's like a muzzle as well. I'm really curious what your thoughts are. Please comment down below what you think the Ender Mite's like red pixels are. To me, I saw it as like one big eye, which is interesting because they do come out of an Ender eye. So I wonder how that works. But you know. And also, adding more texture here, I thought it would be pretty cool. I think also the dark red was too much of a, like the tone against the purple was just so similar. I thought I could brighten it up a little bit. And in the dungeons version, the eye does glow, so I took a bit of creative liberty with that. The particles were actually pretty easy to make, and I think it did really tie this together. If I could go back, I think I would draw more of an expression with the eye. But yeah, I am so proud of myself for getting through this piece. Heads up, if you're scared of spiders, skip to this mark. I honestly don't find these spiders that scary, and I'm scared of spiders. And I don't know how I did it, but they ended up being so cute. I think because I made them like best friends. I also didn't know just how much browner the normal spider was compared to the cave spider. Like, I was aware that the cave spider was a lot bluer, but I didn't realize just how much darker the cave spider really was. I also initially imagined it to kind of be like a mother with like her child, but I feel like making them more similar in height, although cave spiders are quite a bit shorter. I think that turned out better. They look like siblings, which I think in the end I prefer more. But yeah, let me know what you think their dynamic is. I also wonder how often in normal Minecraft do they actually see one another? Do you think they ever go to each other and like, look what I can do? I can turn invisible sometimes. Oh wait, no, sorry, I take that back. That's only a very specific spider. But then the cave spider would be like, I can poison people. So that could be a fun talent show for them. But overall, I absolutely think this one is my favorite, even more than the Sleepy Bee one. So yeah. And that's a wrap. We got everyone done, and thank you so much for watching, and let me know if I should continue this series of drawing more Minecraft mobs, and recommend any one that you would like to see. Have a good day, and thank you again.